Okay, do we have anyone? Okay, then we'll just have a chance to clear the room.
I know what to do. Okay. All right. We had a special order of business at 1:30. It was to be followed by the state bar bill, a state bar dues bill, but apparently Assemblymember Stone is presenting in another committee, we've been told. So we're going to go back to our regular order with the understanding that when he is completed with that item, we are going to take up the state bar dues bill at that time. So I think at this point we are at file item 23, as Assemblymember O'Donnell is not here, so we will move on. It would be file item 29, Assemblymember Hernandez. File item 29 is AB 2261. 2261. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Senators. AB 2261 will strengthen California's critical employment retaliation provisions by authorizing the Labor Commissioner to independently cite an employer for retaliation. Currently, an employee must come forward and file a claim with the Labor Commissioner. Opponents have raised concerns that this bill would change the standards, processes, or statutes of limitations for these retaliation claims. In order to address those concerns, we have amended the language of the bill into Labor Code Section 98.7 to clarify that this bill will allow the Labor Commissioner to issue citations for retaliation under the same rules and with the same due process rights as currently exist for employee complaints. We are in continued discussions with the opposition about remaining concerns and are looking at potential further amendments. Last week, the opponents provided us with proposed amendments to limit the authority only to situations where the Labor Commissioner is already investigating the employer for something else. We are currently reviewing that proposal and would like to get some technical feedback from the Labor Commissioner before we make that change. But I believe we are very close on this bill. I respectfully ask for your support on this piece of legislation.
Thank you. And if there are subsequent amendments to be taken, we, of course, reserve our right to bring the bill back to committee.
Understood.
Very good. Okay. Witnesses, again, we're back to the 2 and 2, 2 minutes each, 2 witnesses, then additional support at the mic, name, affiliation, and position, and then 2 in opposition, each having 2 minutes. So please, your name, and you have 2 minutes.
Madam Chair, members, Michael Young on behalf of the California Labor Federation, sponsor of the bill. I want to thank the author for bringing it and also recognize this legislative body for the work they've done in terms of increasing protections for workers who are retaliated against in the past. Increasing those rights in 2013 was a substantial step, but as we've seen the number of retaliation claims increase over the last few years, we're looking for ways to streamline the process. We're looking for ways to figure out how can we adjudicate those claims quickly, how can we protect workers in the most efficient way possible, and we believe that's what this bill does. It gives the Labor Commissioner the authority to cite directly if she finds retaliation claims with or without an employee complaint, and also it'll give her the tools necessary and consistent with the tools that her agency already has for other violations, such as overtime or minimum wage or meal and rest period violations. It gives her this authority to cite for those claims and investigate for those claims, even if there's not an employee complaint. For those reasons, we urge your support. We urge your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let's make sure these mics are on, please. I'm not sure if it was. Other witnesses in support? Any other witnesses in support?
Steven Sepulveda on behalf of the California Immigrant Policy Center. We're in support of this bill as it's vital for immigrant workers who are particularly vulnerable to workplace abuses due to their immigration status, which might also impede them from filing a claim.
Thank you very much. Other witnesses, name, affiliation, support. Seeing none others, are there any witnesses in opposition to this bill? Is there any opposition to this bill? All right, we'll bring it to the dais. Any questions or concerns? There's a motion by Senator Leno. If you'd like to close, I think you've got a captive audience here.
I want to respect the time of the committee. I just would request an aye vote.
Thank you very much. The motion is due pass to Senator Probst with the understanding any changes and amendments might well be called back to our committee. All righty? Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Morlock, no. Anderson? Hertzberg? Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski?
4-1, we will leave the roll open for absent members. And we have one more bill of yours. It's file item 39, AB 2629. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assembly Bill 2629 brings parity to the current transcript fee structure by requiring a transcript fee adjustment. California has not adjusted the court reporter's transcript fee in over a quarter century, since 1990. Court reporters are highly trained professionals who stenographically preserve the words spoken in a wide variety of official legal settings, such as court hearings, trials, and other pretrial litigations. Official court reporters employed by the courts are currently paid under a dual compensation structure in which the base salary of a court reporter is supplemented by the income from preparing required transcripts and providing other required transcription services. The dual compensation structure protects the state from bearing the full cost of transcript preparation and other transcript services. This avoids the resulting consequences of overtime liability related to these services. AB 2629 advances a modest transcript fee adjustment staggered over 5 years to bring forward a more balanced and fair compensation for court reporters. With me to testify in support of AB 2629 is Carolyn Dasher with the California Court Reporters Association.
Thank you. Good morning, or no, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I
It's
almost
almost
said
good
good morning.
evening, isn't it? Perhaps a new day is in order, but good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Very long day. Honorable Chair and members, my name is Carolyn Dasher, and I'm an official reporter with Los Angeles Superior Court. I'm a past president of the California Court Reporters Association. I'm a Superior Court reporter and a cart provider with the court, as well as an executive board member of SEIU 721. And I wanted to thank you all for your time today, and thank you for considering AB 2629. It's a very important bill for the court reporting profession. The California Court Reporters Association represents a vast cross-section of reporters and captioners throughout our state, and they work diligently to improve and strengthen our profession. Court reporting is a female-dominated profession. As court reporters, we are subject to a dual compensation structure. We are paid for our work in the courthouse through a traditional wage or salary model, and then we spend weekends and weeknights doing work to produce transcripts as a small business owner. We do not receive overtime for these hours, and instead, by law, a transcript fee is applied. AB 2629 gives a modest increase to the fixed fee for producing an official court transcript in California, a rate that has gone unchanged, as the Assembly member said, since 1990 or 91. Unlike many other professions, court reporters spend thousands of dollars purchasing their own equipment, computers, printers, the machine they use, software updates, and as well as the supplies necessary to produce the court record. And the money has been transferred to the court reporters to do that, and it was through negotiations with the courts, because it actually saved them money. They didn't have to provide that. So we provide all the equipment and we provide the transcripts. And so we also pay support staff as independent contractors to be able to prepare our transcripts within the statutory time, because we're in trial all day. I was in trial yesterday, and last night I was up till midnight working on some readback because I'm not there today. So that's the dedication that court reporters give to the courts and to our litigants. So we are dedicated professionals, and we serve the litigants of our state. We serve in the courtrooms to capture the details of the court proceedings, and when a transcript is necessary, we produce these transcripts after hours, sometimes to the detriments of our families and our sleeping schedule. So the dedicated court reporters of the state need you to deliver the money to the courts earmarked for a transcript increase. The Judicial Council in their opposition letter said they would not object if this bill were funded. I urge a yes vote. I urge the legislature to say 25 years is long enough to go without an increase. Thank you for your support.
Very good. Thank you. Briefly, a minute.
Absolutely. Kimberly Rosenberger with Service Employees International Union. I just want to say for a quarter of a century, this is a very modest proposal for an integral service, and we're strongly in support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ignacio Hernandez, also here on behalf of the sponsor, CCRA, just here for technical questions.
Very good. Thank you very much. Witnesses in support, if you'd step forward, name, affiliation, and obviously you're in support of the bill. Go ahead.
Hi, Thank you for your time. I'm Carly Powers, and I'm a court reporter in Sacramento and also affiliated with the California Court Reporters Association, and I support this bill.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Matthew Martinez. I'm an official court reporter in Sacramento. I'm also a director on California Court Reporters Association, and I support this bill.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Erin Spence, Ventura Superior Court, and I support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Emily Richardson, a reporter in Sacramento, and I support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Alva Maria Miller, and I've been working as a reporter for 31 years, 27 with LA Superior Court, and I do support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Amy Scotchko. I'm an official court reporter in Orange County Superior Court, and I support this bill.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ann Stewart. I'm employed by the LA Superior Court, and I also support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Libby Sanchez, Laborers Local 777 and 792 in support.
Thank you.
Joshua Golka with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees in support.
Thank you very much. Any other witnesses in support? Are there any witnesses in opposition to this bill? If you could please, the front desk here, if you would please let the gentleman step up. And
good afternoon, Madam Chair, Senators. Alan Hertzfeld on behalf of the Judicial Council. The Council has an opposed unless amended and funded position on AB 2629. As originally drafted, the bill would have, while increasing rates, would have allowed for consistent statewide funding and transcript rates from county to county. The reintroduction of paragraph C into each subsequent version of section 69950 eliminates that consistency. We'd like that paragraph taken out and the consistency restored. In addition, with the courts chronically underfunded by over $400 million, any increase in these fees we would be looking to have funded by the legislature or with a delayed implementation until an appropriation in the budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other witnesses in opposition? Any witnesses in opposition? So as we'll bring it to the committee, as I understand it, you're concerned that this phrase or this paragraph that you don't like is already existing law. Is that correct?
It's current law, and the as the bill was originally drafted, apparently there was a drafting error, but we think it actually makes for better law with the way it was originally drafted, creating the consistency statewide as we've gone to a statewide funding model.
So let me bring it back. Is there any objection to I don't know if it's correcting it or amending it or whatever, just having that consistency that it would be consistent with all the other counties? Is that basically what it would be?
Each county currently has, or some counties are on the statewide rate and some have individually negotiated rates. Without this subparagraph, the negotiated rates would be retired, I believe, in favor of the statewide rate that would be implemented in the bill.
So do you want the statewide rate or do you want the negotiated county rate?
We would like the statewide consistency.
All right. So now that I'm clear, are you clear? And if you are, if you'd respond to that.
Sure, Madam Chair, thank you. Ignacio Hernandez on behalf of CCRA. A couple of things. One is that is current law. And our understanding is that that language is added, I believe, in 2012. And it codified existing agreements and I believe collective bargaining agreements in certain counties. It was a drafting error on the part of Legislative Council when they deleted it, so we had that corrected as soon as we could. We are not interested in language that would, in our view, undermine the collective bargaining agreements in certain counties. So as far as the uniformity issue, we are absolutely open to that. I personally reached out to Judicial Council to have that conversation. The one thing that should be made clear is that this bill does establish a rate, a folio rate, which is 100 words equals one folio, and so we're simply upping the rate per folio. That is uniform throughout the state. Where there is some discrepancy in certain counties is that they negotiate how many folios per page, because they like formatting differently. But the folio rate essentially is the same. I think it's a longer-term discussion to talk about maybe taking a different approach. And I have expressed on behalf of CCRA our interest in having those conversations, and certainly open to having those conversations starting in July. I think in 2009 there were some conversations about maybe a different approach, but that took, I think, 6 months, and they couldn't come to an agreement. So we are happy to have those discussions as this, if the will of the committee is to move the bill forward, to have those discussions. If we can come to some sort of agreement in short order, we would. If it's something that will take longer term, we absolutely will do that. What we don't want to do is sacrifice an increase in the hopes of coming up with an agreement. Like I said, I was not involved in 2008 or 9, but my understanding is they were close, but not quite there. So we look forward to working on that, and I did express that a couple of weeks ago.
Clearly, you don't want to interfere with the requested increase, and that makes sense. All right, and hopefully you will come, you know, if we're going to have a statewide system, uniformity and consistency, it would certainly help us as we go forward. So,
If I could just add one
quickly, yes.
As technology has advanced with court reporting, we're, instead of estimating how many folios per page, we're actually able to get word counts in at least Marin County, and I believe it started in Marin County and has grown from there, so we can get an accurate count of how many words are actually there. So on a per 100-word rate, we can be a lot more precise.
That's a conversation to come. As I understand, that's not subject to this bill, and
we look forward to that.
And you look forward to perfect segue. I think that answers my concern. Senator Morlock.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple of quick questions. The first is that this has not increased in 25 years, since 1990. We had a robust debate yesterday, Senator Leno and I, and on things that have just been the same for 10, 20, 30 years. Why hasn't it moved since 1990?
Probably the state budget. There just wasn't money, and so because we didn't ask for it, nobody gave it to us. We have to bring our own legislation, I suppose.
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah,
briefly?
yeah.
As well, in addition.
Yeah, in addition, I think she's accurate. It's just something that I think there have been discussions. I think the court reporters have brought that up. The stakeholders, including Judicial Council, it's just something that's never been brought forward for that to happen. I think there have been discussions. There may have been a bill contemplated a few years ago. It just hasn't happened. The other thing, the opportune time now is that the expenditures on transcripts, because currently, obviously, parties pay for transcripts now, but court covers the cost in criminal cases for criminal defendants, so that's the cost to Judicial Council, to the court. That cost has actually dropped over the last year. We think in part because of Prop 47. That drop in fewer felonies, therefore fewer preliminary hearings, fewer preliminary hearing transcripts. That drop will cover almost the entire first phase of this increase. So we think it's good timing. But our understanding is there just hadn't been a bill raised. I've only represented them for 2 years. So
because when it comes, it's a big jump, and it's just a big sticker shock. So the second question is, are you compensated two ways? One is by a salary, and then additional compensation for words, folios, et cetera?
Yeah, it's salary, and then this transcript rate is only for actually producing the transcript, and because that is done on your own time in the evenings and on the weekends, this transcript rate covers producing that transcript. If you don't produce a transcript, then you don't get paid this amount, but you just get a salary for the work that you do during the day, as Ms. Dasher.
The salary's kept up with inflation then.
We haven't had a raise. I mean, we're negotiating now in LA Superior Court.
Then the last two questions, one is instead of a massive increase, we had this debate, why isn't it being staged in, like over a 4 or 5 year period?
I think there.
It is?
I think there are three, if I may, Madam Chair, the increase is staggered. I think 3 increases over a 5-year period, and that was an amendment we took in the Assembly.
Thank you. And then the last question is, where's the funding coming from?
It needs to come from our state budget, and it hasn't, because there hasn't been quite honestly, and I think it's very fair to say that The Judicial Council hasn't been an advocate for our court reporters, and that's why we've gone a quarter century without equitable increases there. In the same period of time, the quarter century, judges have seen pay increases, more than half a dozen of them in the same period of time. As a matter of fact, during the time of the greatest recession that we've all lived through here in this legislature, when the legislature saw a 22% increase and state workers saw no pay raises from 6 to 8, 9 years, depending on the departments, judges were treated with immunity and continue to see pay increases.
Well,
when everybody else
I'd
didn't.
prefer we not go there in that direction. I think we're focusing here, and that is, excuse me, Senator. The appropriation is something that will, this bill is headed to the Appropriation Committee, so that discussion will be had there.
And
Okay.
I would just conclude, Madam Chair, by saying that sitting as the chair of the Judiciary Committee for the County of Orange with the presiding judge, the legislature has hammered the courts big time. So it's not just, I mean, the picture is bigger than just what our judge is making. The number of cuts has been amazing. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right. There is a motion. If you'd like to briefly close, we have a motion before us.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill is really about recognizing the important work that the court reporters bring to the civil and criminal justice system, and a quarter century is a long time to wait. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. All right, there is a motion to pass to Senate Appropriations. Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? Hertzberg? Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski?
All right, that bill has 3 votes. We'll place it on call. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senators.
One moment, please. O'Donnell, you are up next according to our file order. So we're going to go to file item 23. We're still waiting for Assemblymember Stone on the State Bar dues bill. So we will go forward with file item 23, which is AB 2051. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and committee members. I would like to start by accepting the committee amendments. Today I'm pleased to present AB 2051, which will modernize the code section governing rental cars. In 1988, the legislature created Section 1936 of the Civil Code to regulate the rental car industry and provide protections for consumers. In the nearly 30 years since its creation, numerous bills have expanded this section without a larger review of the section as a whole. This piecemeal approach has left us with a large and unwieldy section of law with many provisions out of date, and with changes the industry has gone through, and there's been changes in the industry since. An overhaul of the car rental law is overdue. AB 2051 provides this overhaul by breaking up Section 1936 into smaller sections, updates how technologies can be used to allow rental companies to offer new services, and updates advertising requirements. Here to testify in support with me are John Moffett with Enterprise, and I believe Teresa Cook with Avis is here as well. With that, I turn it back to you.
We need some clarification as to, by accepting the committee amendments, do you mean the suggestion to remove the LAX provisions from the bill?
Correct.
That's correct. Very good. Thank you.
Removed, yes.
So we're clear now. Very good. Witnesses in support. Good afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. John Moffett on behalf of Enterprise Holdings, Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We want to thank the author, thank the committee staff for working with us on this bill. I think the committee analysis does a good job of really capturing what the bill does, and as the author mentioned, it's a lot of cleanup. You know, this section of code was had been changed many times over the decades, and it was time for a cleanup. In addition to that, it makes some minor tweaks to the existing language that was there, a little bit of follow-up from a bill last year that passed unanimously out of this committee. And I'd also like to suggest it's environmentally friendly, this bill, because it was one section, changing a comma created a 30-page bill every time. Now, hopefully, we can, any future changes can be a little more friendly to the trees. With that, John Moffett, on behalf of Enterprise, in support.
Thank you very much. Other witnesses in support?
John Ross on behalf of the Hertz Corporation. As one who contributed over the years to the mess that was Section 1936, we appreciate the committee's work in cleaning it up.
Thank you. No commas. Thank you.
Teresa Cook on behalf of Avis Budget Group and the next generation of people that are going to have to deal with this code section. Very excited that it's much shorter. Huge thank you to staff and to you, Chairwoman, for all your assistance on this.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? Are there any witnesses in opposition? There is a motion by Senator Leno. Any debate or discussion? As amended. There's a motion to pass as amended to the Senate floor. Seeing no debate, if you'd like to close.
Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Very good. Please call the roll.
Jackson? Aye. Jackson, aye. Morlock? Aye. Morlock, aye. Anderson? Hertzberg? Leno? Aye. Leno, aye. Monning? Aye. Monning, aye. Wachowski?